Hey, we're the Lambert Post, and we decided to interview students and teachers to see if they knew the difference between the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare. Do you know what Obamacare is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's this plan. Wait, is this recording?
Okay, it's recording.
Okay. Obamacare is this plan where it's kind of like it's literally the same thing as the Affordable Care Act, but with a different name. But Obamacare is just this plan to help people who don't have enough money for health stuff to pay for it so they can pay for it years later.
It's just healthcare.
Yeah, it's just healthcare.
What's your opinions on it?
I mean, I think I'm too young to really have a full opinion on it, but judging what my parents think, it's not really that good.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
Not really, but Obamacare's stupid.
Why do you
Why
think it's
is it
stupid?
Because they take money from people, and it's just not right.
Who do they take money from?
The people that are actually working, and then they give it to the couch potatoes.
The couch potatoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear this from?
Huh?
Where'd you hear this from?
Who told you about it?
The internet.
The internet?
No, my dad.
What does your dad think about it?
Same thing I just said.
And you believe your dad?
Yeah, because he's my dad.
What's the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
Not really, no. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. I'm more on social issues than that.
Do you know what Obamacare is?
Not really.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I feel like it's a good thing. I mean, I've heard some things about it, like birth control and providing free healthcare for people that can't afford it, and then it also covers veterans that can't afford healthcare. That's all I know about it. I don't know much.
Have you heard of the Affordable Care Act?
I've heard of it, but I don't know exactly what it does.
It's the same thing you just described.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess I didn't know it.
Are you going to ask questions? Okay. Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act? No, am I supposed to actually? Do you think Obamacare is a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad.
Why?
I don't like Obama.
Okay, thank you. Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
No.
Do you know what Obamacare is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the we all have to have health insurance. It's kind of mandatory health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you get the government charges you to not have it. I don't know if the Affordable Care Act is, so.
Why don't you know what it is?
Because I just haven't looked into it. It's not relevant to me.
Do you know
Well,
it's the
wait,
same-
no, that's bad. It is relevant to me. I just haven't looked into it.
Do you know it's the same thing as Obamacare? It's just a different name.
No, but now I do. So
Now you know.
thank
Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
No.
Do you know what Obamacare is?
Yeah. No.
What is it?
It's health and such.
Health and such?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good or bad thing?
It's bad
Why?
because the internet said it.
People can pay for their own health care. Can we redo this? Obamacare definition. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, yeah, let's go again.
Now do you know the difference?
I do, because there is no difference. Poor I can't do this.
Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
Do I know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act? They are pretty much the same thing. It was just given the name Obamacare because he was the president that signed it. Okay?
What is Obamacare?
Obamacare brings, it's close to bringing the government into your health care, but it was supposed to designed to make health care affordable to everybody. Okay? The idea was you could keep your doctor, it would lower health costs by $2,500 on the average, but it didn't quite work out that way. Okay?
What's your opinion on it?
You would ask me that. I think it's time for it to go. I don't think that it lived up to its promise. It's made healthcare far more expensive. I don't think it's made it affordable by any means for a lot of people. Deductibles have gone up, the prices have gone up, the premiums have gone up. competition brings everything, all the prices down. And so you got to put competition back into the market or it's not going to work.
Okay. Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act? No. Do you know what Obamacare is?
It's like taxes.
Taxes?
Rich people.
For rich people? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing. I don't really. I mean, it's good. It's bad for the rich people, but good for the poor people.
Okay.
Do you know what the Affordable Care Act is?
No.
Do you know it's the same thing as Obamacare?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Wow. When was that made?
2010.
Oh, that's recent. Cool.
Have you heard of Obamacare before?
Yes.
Where did you hear it from?
My parents.
Your parents?
Yeah.
What do your parents think of it?
They don't like it
Yeah, my parents don't like it.
because they're Republican.
Okay. Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
Obamacare is the term kind of coined to describe the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act is the bill overall, and Obamacare is the name that's been given to it by people in the government.
Do you think it's a bad thing?
It does some good things, but I don't think America's ready for universal health care yet, just because we're so privatized in that industry.
Okay. Do you know what Obamacare is?
I think it's healthcare that Obama bought to.
It's when other people have like jobs and they like work for other people and they get like money for it.
Do you know what the Affordable Care Act is?
Oh, I think it's an act that that.
Well, Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act are the same thing. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Adriana, you didn't know that.
Well, it's basically the same thing. It's like the same thing.
What are your opinions on it?
I think that is just great.
It's great, but I feel like other people should get jobs and work for themselves. But it's all good.
Why do you think it's great?
I think it's great because some less fortunate people might not have the funds to afford health care.
Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
No. What are these questions?
Do you know what Obamacare is?
No. It's like, I don't know.
You don't know?
Have you ever heard of it before?
Yeah.
From where?
Who'd you hear it from?
Yeah.
Fox News.
What'd they say about it?
It was like bad. Like. No
Do you
one-
believe them?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like Obama.
Okay. Do you know the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act?
There is no difference. They're the same thing.
Do you think Obamacare is a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it depends on whether you are talking about yourself or talking about everyone in general.
Yeah.
I think that it's very possible that on an individual basis, you may have had premiums go up or deductibles go up because of Obamacare. However, in the aggregate, the idea that we are all maybe paying a little bit more, those of us who can afford to accomplish such a greater good, I think it's a wonderful thing. People say it's not good for me, so it can't possibly be good. But number one, everything about it makes sense in order to have pre-existing conditions covered, which is a groundbreaking thing. It ruins people's lives. Good people who've done nothing wrong have their lives ruined because of the pre-existing conditions. And the only way to get rid of it is to have an individual mandate to buy insurance, and that's what everybody's against, but they want to have the pre-existing condition exclusion, and they don't understand that it's impossible. So we have to have that. And it also, because of this mandate working its way into the system slowly, it takes time to work. And the fact is, maybe it's paying or costing people a little bit more right now. It won't in the long run, because once everybody's buying it, it's going to be best for everyone. But people don't understand it. They don't know the big picture. It's such a life-changing thing for the people who were the most vulnerable. And it's only a slight inconvenience for those of us who can afford it. But in the long run, it's actually going to help everybody. And it makes me furious that people who don't understand it demand it to be dismantled.